So Bidenomics is just a ploy to destroy America's fossil fuel industry. That was a headline I read at the top of the show in our opening riff. Unfortunately, at the moment, they may be succeeding to destroy our energy industry. Joining us now, North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer, member of the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Senator Cramer, it's great to have you back. Senator, I want to read you a couple of little headlines here. This is what I said at the top of the show. Get your take. You may have some headlines in your own. As Ford loses billions on EVs, the company embraces hybrids. Remember, that's like Toyota. Second headline, wind industry in crisis as problems mount. More than $30 billion in spending is delayed as setbacks pile up for renewable energy sector. And a little summer regulation from the Biden administration, without any congressional legislation, they'd like to take miles per gallon up to 66 miles per gallon, I believe, by 2032. The current level is 44. That would destroy gas-powered cars. So I thought I'd get your comment on that because you are an energy expert.
Well, thanks, Larry, for having me. And on that last point is really a good one to start with, because you're exactly right. While they say what they want is more energy efficient combustion engines, they really want us to get rid of them. They want to get rid of the combustion engine altogether by creating an impossible standard. And that's what's forced this market, really market corruption, if you will. It's forced a lot of these manufacturers to create way too many electric vehicles, which people don't want. And not only that, but they can't get the parts for them. They're expensive to buy. They're expensive to maintain. You can't get the batteries. We don't create them here. The energy that they want to bring to the United States is dependent on China. I mean, there's so many bad things. And by the way, it just transfers their climate guilt to other polluting countries to build all of these things that we would then import into the United States. So it's awful for the economy, obviously, but it's also just really bad public policy. And anytime the government steps in with huge subsidies for inefficient outcomes, you're going to go down a very slippery slope.
This kind of top-down central planning dictates, always wrong. And it's pure favoritism. Senator Cramer, if they had half a brain on this subject, they would reclassify natural gas as a clean burning fuel. Even the socialists in Europe have done that. And then, not only that, because that would help our whole electricity story, right? Bring down electricity prices.
Right.
Not only that, boost the LNG industry. Boost it, build new LNG plants, and so forth. And like Rick Perry always says, sell it to China, sell it to India to reduce carbon emissions in those countries, as well as ours. But we are the leading carbon emissions reducer. If I got that right, carbon emissions reducer. We're the leading in the last 20 years, way ahead. China's the biggest carbon creator. I mean, come on. What is the Biden crowd thinking?
So we've actually, as a country, reduced greenhouse gas emissions more than the next 8 reducers added up, Larry.
Right.
That's how good we are at it. Innovation has always been the American advantage. And to your point about selling more natural gas in the form of liquid natural gas, to China as well as to our friends in Europe and other places, you're exactly right. Instead of transferring our climate guilt by having China build our solar panels and our electric vehicles, we should sell them a cleaner fuel source, which natural gas is. And see, when it comes to natural gas, remember, the left wanted to refer to natural gas and did for years as the, quote, bridge fuel. But even Hillary Clinton, when she was running for president the first time, and we'll never forget, because I debated, as you know, debated her energy expert a couple of times during the campaign on behalf of then candidate Trump. She said it's a bridge fuel, but it's a bridge that can't be very long. Yeah, and I thought, well, how do you incentivize, how do you interest people in investing in a short-term bridge? You simply cannot. And it was because of the abundance of natural gas in the United States that we're able to bring these emissions down so far. Now what they want to do in their new EPA energy plan, electricity generation plan, is replace natural gas with hydrogen. Again, a reasonable goal or aspiration well out into the future, but they want to force it, and they want to force it fast. And doing so is going to just raise the same exact legal arguments that prevailed in West Virginia versus the EPA.
Senator Cramer, yeah, and I think you can win on that. Senator Kevin Cramer, great to see you again, sir. Thanks very, very much. Folks,